Hey, how's it going? My name's Brent Knopf. I'm in a band called Ramona Falls, and I've decided to answer these interview questions via a video message. Here goes. A lot has been made of your recording processes in the past, from the Phenomena days using D-Layer to record song segments individually and then sending bits of tracks back and forth, to your more recent collaboration with Matt Sheehy on Lost Landers Dirt. Was the process for this record similar? A lot of recording, cutting up, and meticulously piecing together? Taking organic recordings and making them somewhat inorganic as you added technology? Yeah, the process was pretty much that. It was the songs. Let's see, most of the songs. I think 7 of the songs originated as dealer sessions where I was just kind of goofing around by myself. And so, yeah, the origin of each song is there's a lot of overlap and there's a lot of divergence, I guess. So I would usually kind of like try to establish a uh, song structure, and then from there we would layer ideas on top and kind of sift through them to try to find the parts that were really resonating and made sense, and then I'd move them around, and yeah, it's super intensive in terms of meticulousness uh, and trial and error. I feel like about the same percentage of each person's ideas made it on the recording, which is to say, like, about 10% of what we actually recorded might have made its way into the song. There's just a lot in the waste heap and the waste basket. The next question is, but ultimately you've created a collection of cohesive sounding, almost symphonic songs. Does the process have to be so complicated? Or could you not imagine, or are you not capable of, doing it any other way? Uh, does it have to be so complicated? No. and I can't figure out why I don't just do it simpler. I'll work on them as long as I have time to work on them. And so what ends up happening is this kind of strange mind game with myself where I try to like tell myself that it has to be done by an arbitrary date, even though it doesn't really. And then I have to kind of convince myself that, um, that due date is actually a deadline and it's firm. So it gets, mentally, I kind of psych myself out in some kind of bad ways, I think, where I can overthink some stuff and where stuff can potentially get overcomplicated. But on the other hand, that's kind of like who I am. I'm always unnecessarily overcomplicating things. So, but I'll say that by the end of the process, all I wanted to do, the only thing I wanted to do, I wanted to stop working on the record. I wanted to be finished with it, and I wanted to be starting a brand new record where I had to be like from start to finish. Only have like 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure my bandmates would scoff at the idea that I could be fine doing it in a much simpler fashion. But that's kind of what I'm setting out for myself as a goal for recording the next time around. The next question. You took a big chance leaving Phenomena to focus solely on your own music. How did that choice affect this album and the content of the material you ultimately wrote? I think it probably infused the process with fear. um, about, I mean, I had a really wonderful time with Phenomena, and that was a great 10 years and 4.5 albums with Danny and Justin. And it sounds like they're just wrapping up another Phenomena record. But for me, it was time for a new adventure. And let's see, I guess I felt, I don't know how to describe it. In some ways, I felt like a little more okay exploring some kind of more absurd sides of myself. Um, and then actually a couple of the songs from this record didn't survive the Phenomena process last time around, so I was able to kind of resurrect those, a couple of them. Um, I don't know if the choice to leave Menomina really affected this album more than just like just being, more scared about the future in terms of whether I'll be able to do music for a living or not. It's not something I've ever considered to be a given. So we'll see. Is it scarier to stand alone, or do you feel able to freely express yourself now? Is it easier or harder or both? It's definitely a little bit scarier, but it's honestly, the way I approach music is I want the best idea to win. And I get into trouble because often I like to apply my assessment of what the best idea is to the process. But I will say that I pride myself on listening to other people's contributions or their ideas and finding stuff in there that I love and that I think is amazing and something that I would never have thought of before. And that's a lot of the motivation, right, for collaborating with 35 friends and family on the first record, or my bandmates and guests on this record. It's because that's what I want. I want the unpredictable element. I feel like the cross-pollination of other personalities and unpredictable performances or moments, I feel like that's really precious. And I feel like if you premeditate something too much, then it doesn't really, I don't know, rings more hollow. So this process of working on this Ramona Falls record was really joyful for me, in addition to scary and stressful, because I felt super engaged with, creatively, with my bandmates. And I feel like they were extraordinarily generous with their feedback and their ideas and their time. And so it was that kind of feeling of wanting that kind of back and forth of ideas and talking about the ideas in a way that hopefully wasn't too connected to ego, that really meant a lot to me and I really value. So a creative project is enhanced when you have people working together that don't beforehand already agree on everything. When you have unpredictable combinations of perspective and experience that kind of collide. So I feel Ramona Falls started for me as a way to be musical and create songs while also being, in a way, more collaborative, if you could believe that, more deeply enmeshed with ideas of other people. And I feel that it's a peculiar way of working, and it's not for everybody. I mean, when I approach an album, the ideas, I feel like all the ideas are up for talking about, or up for maybe getting rid of, or maybe focusing on more, or and I feel like that can be a difficult proposition for some people. How do you translate this kind of record to the stage? Mostly in Turkish. Stupid joke. How do we translate it? Well, what I've been interested in so far is the idea of what the audience hears being sounds that are being made now by the audience. And so it's kind of a tricky line to walk when there's so many crazy sounds from the record and you want to bring those to a live setting. How do you bring those to a live setting without, while also playing them in the moment? And so what it ends up requiring is a pretty laborious process of exporting the sounds and then associating the sounds with different notes on a keyboard and then triggering those sounds with the band as we're playing. So it can be kind of a challenge in that way. So it's challenging, but an adventure at the same time, but mostly challenging. Tell me about the interactive packaging for the CD. Sure. My dear friend Nicholas is a designer, and he and I work together on this packaging. And so you have this is what it looks like. It's now in diamond shape. Anyway, we have this package here, and I think I already demonstrated the fact that you could receive a divination by asking the prophet a question and spinning the wheel. And then once you take out the CD from its jacket, then you could pop the CD out like that, and then what you have remaining is a kind of clever device that does things. Oops. It does things like that, and then if here's the back of the record. If you accidentally dismantle this guy, there are instructions to resurrect it within here that were, oops, that's the wrong thing. There we go. That help you bring it back to life. Thanks so much for being curious about this new record, and I hope I hope this format has been okay with a fan of my laptop buzzing and everything. All right. Thanks. Bye.